Good afternoon, everyone. I'd just like to welcome you to quite an emotional moment for us. This is obviously the sod turning for Field of Dreams. Minister Creed, County Mayor, President of DSI, Mary Doherty, Chairman of Munster Agriculture Society, Ger Murphy, special guest Kathleen Lynch, Diarmuid Gavin, ladies and gentlemen, sponsors, employees of DS Cork, welcome to the turning of the sod. This is 4 years of work for us, and thankfully to the Munster Agricultural Society we have this piece of land. We are here to build a future for our adults and our kids, and we will do it. I mean, if you look back a couple of years to where we actually were and where we're standing now, we would not be in this place without the sponsors, which we will thank, the government agencies and the DS board. Each you have made this happen. 98% of adults with Down syndrome are unemployed. If we can change that by doing this project, great. And we can build a future. We hope this is a demonstration project for the rest of the country to actually look at and do. I would like to thank Minister Creed and Kathleen Lynch for coming. I would like to thank the Munster Agricultural Society for the great support, Seafield and project management for the site here and all the work that they're actually doing. The board of Down Syndrome Cork and the employees of DS Cork, without these people, this kind of project becomes impossible. Members of Down Syndrome Cork and our neighbours here who have worked with us in recent months to actually make this a friendly project. To our kids, our families, to Brenda, my wife, and my own kids, they have supported us true and true. The big sponsors that have come on board: Marks and Spencer, the ESB, Dansco, Munster Agricultural Society, Cork Educational Training Board, Seafield, Project Management, Pepsi and Keelings. A big thank you. We're actually hoping from here that we will get more sponsors. Now, I would like to invite Councillor Seamus McGrath, the County Mayor, to say a few words. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Ray. Good morning, everybody. I'm delighted to be here this morning. It was a bit of a close call. My wife gave birth yesterday, so...
Congratulations.
Thanks very much. A healthy baby girl, thankfully, so we're all delighted. But I'm not as prepared as I should be this morning, so please forgive me. But look, I am delighted to be here. I think this is an absolutely wonderful idea and concept and project. And I suppose at the outset I want to congratulate Down Syndrome Cork for taking this initiative. I know it's a pioneering project and a pilot project in Ireland, and you're certainly leading the way, and I think that is to be commended, so well done to everybody involved. Can I also just, I suppose, thank the sponsors, as Ray has done. It's important that financial support gets behind these kind of projects, otherwise they won't get off the ground. And of course, the government for their support as well, and I welcome Minister Creed and former Minister Kathleen Lynch here as well. I know Kathleen has been an ardent supporter of this project from the word go. I suppose from my own point of view as Mayor, I just want to lend whatever support we can at a county council level. This is an excellent concept and it's something that deserves every inch of support that we can give it. I suppose I want to commend the Munster Agricultural Society for providing this wonderful site here at such a prime location, a site that's so easily accessible, and it certainly is what I would consider to be a field of dreams, and I know that there is a great future here. I suppose only a short couple of weeks ago as Mayor I had the great honour of hosting a civic reception for Sinead Kane from Youghal. And when I was coming out here this morning I just thought about Sinead, and I suppose the importance of encouraging people with different abilities to reach their full potential. And as you know, as many of you know, I'm sure, Sinead ran 7 marathons in 7 days in 7 continents during the month of January, and that was an absolutely outstanding achievement. But I think it shows what can be done when people put their minds to it, when there is support there, I suppose, and when hard work, commitment, sacrifice and dedication is brought to the fore, and the amount of achievement that can be achieved is absolutely outstanding. And I believe this is an example of something along those lines where there can be great achievement and where people can reach their full potential. It is all about self-development, it is all about personal development, and I suppose, as Ray has said, the employment figures for adults with Down syndrome is totally unacceptable, and that is something that has to be absolutely made clear. And if we can do anything to help that, I think that has to be encouraged, and this project here is a start in that. And as I say, Down Syndrome Cork are leading the way in that. So look, my apologies, I'm not as prepared as I should be here this morning, but I am delighted to lend my support to it. I want to wish everybody the very, very best with the project, and if there's anything we can do as a County Council to support you going forward, our door is certainly open, and as long as I'm Mayor, I'll ensure that is the case, and I'm sure my successors will be the same. So well done to everyone, congratulations.
Thanks, Seamus. Thank you. Minister Michael Creed, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ray, County Mayor, Diarmuid, Jason, my former colleague Kathleen Lynch, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to be here today. I think this is a great occasion for Down Syndrome Cork. It's a great occasion for adults with Down syndrome, and I'd like to salute the board of Down Syndrome Cork, Down Syndrome Ireland, all of the parents who have put their shoulder to the wheel to bring a concept, this field of dreams, to fruition. And the tourney of the sod today is the culmination of, you know, a long lead-in time in terms of the project from its gestation to this. So I salute all of you for your achievements and your commitments. Congratulations, Seamus. That's a great news, and good luck to yourself and your wife and your new daughter. I'm particularly conscious, when I was appointed as Minister for Agriculture, as I was going in the front door, I met my predecessor, Simon Coveney, in the department going out, and it was one of the projects that he was personally very committed to. And you know, I'm particularly glad in the department have been able to see the project over the line in terms of the funding that my department is providing for it. But I am also particularly delighted to see Kathleen Lynch here, because not just as a former Oireachtas colleague and friend, but I do know in her time as Minister with responsibility for people with disabilities, this was a project also that she was very, very deeply involved in. And though no longer, unfortunately, in the Oireachtas with us, it is, I think, a tribute to her tenacity in that area. A field of dreams. I'm acutely conscious as a public representative of some time now, and I'm sure this is the case for all public representatives. We know very often that it's more of a nightmare sometimes trying to navigate all of the different agencies who have a responsibility in terms of providing services for people with disabilities. And obviously as a state and as a government, we have a lot more to do in that space in terms of improving service provision for people with disabilities. But I am particularly pleased in the context of today that this marks a new departure. The levels of unemployment for people with disabilities are unacceptably high. This is one of a number of projects that my department is involved in the area of social farming. We have a project in Kerry with Parents and Friends. We have another initiative in Leitrim. We are in a way breaking new ground in this area, but it is something that I see as you know, a part of the future that we as a department can play in this area. And I do appreciate, Ray, as you said, you have a shortfall still in respect of the project costs, and certainly we are open to considering how we might be in a position to further assist. But really today isn't about any of that detail. It's about acknowledging the endeavour and efforts of people to get us to this situation. A lot of volunteers, a lot of hard work, a lot of fundraising. Salute also the business people who've come on board, and I think by their leadership others will follow. But in particular, it's a great day for people with Down syndrome, and I hope that it will be the field of dreams. It's about dignity, it's about self-worth, it's about inclusion. and I think, you know, the fact that people will be able to gain gainful employment here, and I'm glad to see Ted Owen say from the Cork Education and Training Board to have, you know, that training that they get here quantified and valued through the education process is, I think, part of the holistic approach that we need involving everybody. So hats off to you, Ray, and to all of your volunteers for what you've achieved. I'm delighted to be here with, as I said, Kathleen and Conveyor and Deirdre Gavin and all of your team. Thank you very much for the invitation.
I'll pass you on to Kathleen Lynch now. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Ray. I just following on from what the Minister was saying, and just to welcome I'm glad to see the County Mayor here, and Dermot Gavin as well. Myself and Dermot have a little bit of a history. He did my garden one time. That's not true. I couldn't afford it. But I was involved for him in terms of another project that he was involved with for people with additional needs or people with disabilities as well. And I must admit that project was quite spectacular as well. And I'm sure our expectations are very high when it comes to this as well. When Ray first approached me and his team about a Field of Dreams, it was at a time when we didn't have any money, Ray, and I think the acceptance of that situation was what struck me more than anything else. You know, it wasn't, but you have money for this and you have money for that. You know, it was the acceptance. But when you do get money, would you consider this project? And we did. And I was very happy to do that, and really glad to see that Simon Coveney took an interest, and now Michael Creed has taken that up as well. And the Agricultural Society in Cork has come on board, as with all of the other agencies, and it really is something that demands that kind of cross-departmental input, as well, of course, as the drive from, I suppose, the people that had the vision, and that's Ray and his team, and I suppose every parent of a child in Cork City and County that has that additional need. You know, that vision. I'm paraphrasing John F. Kennedy now, or maybe I'm paraphrasing his scriptwriter. I'm never certain in this day of Wikipedia and Google, when he said that the world will not be changed by cynics. It will only be changed by those who see the world and say it could be a different place, and why not? And I think this particular project is one of those why not projects. You know, this community, and it worries me sometimes when people talk about community as if it was this big homogenous group. Community is not made of that big homogenous group. It is when it comes to social welfare and taxation. But when it comes to real community, it is the smaller groups of community that come together because they have the same needs and the same expectations. Roads that look after one another that we all admire. Communities like people who have children with additional needs that come together and say we must do something for the people we're responsible for. And this is a true community, a community that cares for one another, a community that when someone is feeling that the burden is too much, that others take it on. To say that this will be spectacular, I have no doubt, because I've seen the vision, because it has been explained to me. People with disabilities who are not employed, I think sometimes it's because of a lack of expectation, and it's because of employers not understanding that people with disabilities are quite capable of doing the job that they have on offer. And you know what will happen here, the training, the facilitating of and the accepting of the different needs. A friend of mine used to say that if we were all farmers, the world would starve, because there would be no one to mill the wheat, make the bread, or even deliver it. So it is the different needs and the different gifts that we all bring that this project will ensure comes to fruition. To Ray and those who have that vision, congratulations. I know it will go from strength to strength, and the people you have managed to convince are those that you will need to bring it on board. I was looking a while ago and I thought that the work had already commenced. There was a bit of digging going on behind us. Well done, Ray, to you and your team, and the very best of luck.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a delight to be here to see the results of so much work that's gone on in the past 4 years begin to be manifest in this field of dreams. I'm kind of smiling away to myself because I've just been watching Kate. Where's Kate? She's been planting a carrot, and I think we have to talk to Kate about planting carrots. Do you know what, Kate? You're going to come down here when Ray has built the garden here, and he's going to tell you about seeds. But you're an inspiration. The only one actually doing work here today. I'm delighted to be here. It's lovely to see Kathleen again. Actually, I just attended an event that somebody else had created a garden in a place where it was much needed. But I was going through some difficulties at the time with the Irish Sky Garden. I probably shouldn't bring that up. And it was a very challenging time for me. And Kathleen just said a few quiet words to me that gave me the strength to carry on. In the guise of kind of this too will pass. And indeed it did. And difficulties do get lessened with time. So thank you very much for the humanity back then, like 3 or 4 years ago. Really appreciate it. A few years ago, I was working away, madly busy, getting lots of requests in to do things, and my wife said to me, you have to say every other email that comes in, every other phone call, you have to say no. We've no family, we can't do this, we can't do that. And I agreed eventually on threat of divorce that I would say no. And then Ray's email arrived, and my wife read it first, and she said, you have to get in the car and go down to Cork and see this man, because it was an impassioned plea for a community that I knew nothing about. It was an impassioned plea to give people like John and his mates who have Down syndrome a chance to self-determine what their future would be. And Ray told me, when I did meet him, he told me that the whole thing was called A Field of Dreams. Everybody should watch that movie because it's based on the principle of build it and they will come. And he had this dream, and the rest of the board of Down syndrome Cork had this dream, but they didn't know how they were going to make it happen. And to understand today that it is just about to happen, that's something remarkable that's going to change our perceptions of the possibilities of people, that's going to lead the way in this country and abroad, is just fantastic. In a couple of weeks, we're about to see I think the first sod has been well and truly turned on a carrot planted there. But we're about to see some movement in this place. So I think it's just congratulations to Ray, the board, everybody else who's worked so hard on behalf of themselves, their families and their community and the greater community in Ireland. So congratulations, and I think it's going to be a fantastic event.
I'd like to hand you over to John Sweetnam. John is a member of the board of Down syndrome Cork.
Thank you very much, everyone, for coming out. Thanks for the Minister of Education and Cathy and the Deputy Lord Mayor from the County Board. And Gerard Irwin, I invited him to come along. Ted, sorry. Thanks to this big body. Yes. Ray is massive hero on mine.
Thanks, John. We'll get on with the photographs. I'll leave Sharon take the lead at the turning of the sod. And everybody's welcome back to the Kingsley Hotel for something to eat, which is sponsored by Downscope. Thanks to David O'Neill for that. And thank you very much. Thank you.